What are you, a comedian? Charles Bronson. Some white dudes you cut in front of don't play that shit though, right? You cut in front of them. All right, cut the shit. What a crowd, what a crowd.
The other day in Donegal, they had on these men that like to dress up like women, and when they do, they can no longer parallel park.
So I remember one time I was coming home from kindergarten. Well, they told me it was kindergarten. I found out later I'd been working in a factory for 2 years.
Now remember, Father said cut the grass. Well, he ain't here.
I worry that drugs have forced us to be more creative than we really are.
What is this? This is like a chiropractor's wet dream. It's like...
And don't flip around. We'll be right back.
Good evening. I'm Shana Alexander. Home Box Office has asked me to introduce tonight's On Location featuring George Carlin. Some would simply say that tonight's language is very strong. Others would say it goes beyond this and would find it vulgar. The segment is controversial. It provoked a legal proceeding at the Federal Communications Commission. In March of this year, I am happy to say, a federal court of appeals ruled in favor of Mr. Carlin's right to freedom of speech. But we respect your decision about whether you want to see the program. It contains language you hear every day on the street, though rarely on TV.
Here are these words I'm not supposed to say. Let's have a look at them. I'll be glad to avoid them if I could just see them and know what they are.
There's some words you can say part of the time. Talking about an ass kicking. Ass is a word that's hardly even a curse word anymore, but it still is in a little way. I mean, most of the time ass is all right. On television you can say, well, you've made a perfect ass of yourself tonight. But you can't say, you half-ass. Only perfect asses allowed. You can use ass in the religious sense. If you happen to be the Redeemer, riding into town on one, perfectly all right. But don't get off and say, you know, the donkey hurt my ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, George Carlin.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am George Carlin, and I am your host tonight on 20 years of comedy on HBO. 1975 right through the present day. And the reason they asked me to be the host on this show is, well, first of all, I think it's widely acknowledged that I am America's finest human being. And it's also true that of all the comedians who have appeared here on this network, I have spent the most actual time on screen bothering your ass more than anyone else. I mean, I've done 8 specials on HBO. I've done 9 hours and 43 minutes. And I did say 43 minutes. You see, comedy shows on HBO were not always 30 or 60 minutes long. In fact, when I did my first show, my instructions were, go out there, stay on as long as you can, try to keep them occupied. We're going to go through their purses. And I want to thank Shana Alexander for apologizing in advance for anything we might say tonight. Wasn't that quaint? That was 1977. Do you realize how often she'd have to appear today on Def Comedy Jam? Just to stay even with those guys? Now, the interesting thing to me is that that was the last time HBO felt the need to use a disclaimer like that. And that's what tonight's show is really all about. It's a story. It's a story with a beginning, it has a middle, and we can talk about the future later. So let's just pick up the story where we left off. 1977, television was in a period of transition. You see, initially, cable TV came into being in order to solve a technical problem: crappy reception. Anyone here who has ever used a rabbit ears antenna knows that with all the ghosts you have on the screen, you sometimes find yourself watching the 300 Stooges. One night at my house, What's My Line had over 147 people on the panel. Now listen. All right. So cable TV changed a lot of things. And in 1975, HBO revolutionized comedy on television by adding an important element that had previously been missing: freedom. Quite an oversight. HBO granted comedians 3 new freedoms: freedom to choose their topics, freedom to use the entire English language, and just as important, freedom from commercial interruptions. The Comedian's Bill of Rights. Now, before cable came along, comics on TV had always been presented in short bursts. On talk shows or variety shows, you know, they were given 6 minutes or 7 minutes, and every joke was screened, inspected, scrutinized, cut, edited, altered, and above all, clean. And then all of a sudden, everything changed. HBO started telling comedians, go on, stay on for an hour if you want, talk about whatever you want, just make sure it's funny. As FM radio was to AM radio, HBO would be to the networks an alternative. So let's begin our journey in 1975. Muhammad Ali had just regained his heavyweight crown from a tough kid named George Foreman. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest had won Best Picture of the Year, and Captain and Tennille topped the record charts. And television lost its cherry thanks to the efforts of the wonderful Robert Klein.
The subscription, these folks pay. This is not regular television. You can say this is mature, we're grown up. You can say any shit.
How do you like that? Shit.
Oh. What a catharsis. Anyway.
I wish I'd been more witty with that, using the word for human excrement. But it was a rather unique feeling to be on television and speaking as you would.
One of the finest media happenings I've ever seen in America was a couple of years ago in the Thanksgiving Day football game on television, live from Detroit, Oakland to Detroit. They had sound catchers down in the field to get the authentic sounds off the field. You know, tremendous. They got a little more than they bargained for that day. Remember? America's all waiting for the turkey, 40 million of them. After a tackle, they heard, "I'll get you, Taylor, you cocksucker!" I mean, you, 38, you know. My mother dropped the turkey.
It was a chance to unfold, to reveal. It was, let's face it, a revolutionary change in television.
A child was asked to describe the feeling of joy. She said it's mild and gentle on your hand. I've actually seen a man walk up to 4 women sitting in a bar and say, "Hey, what are you doing here all alone?" I worry that drugs have forced us to be more creative than we really are. The other day I bought a wastebasket and I carried it home in a paper bag. And when I got home, I put the paper bag in the wastebasket.
What HBO did was it gave all of these young people a chance to be seen. The freedom of language, the freedom of topics. Nothing was sacred, which is what comedy should be.
You ever notice how nice white people get when there's a bunch of niggas around? Right, they get outside, they talk to everybody, right? They say, "Hi, how you doing? I don't know you, but here's my wife. Hello." And niggas gorilla their way in the place, man. We saw about 8 dead white people when we was coming in, still had tickets in their hands. But niggas had just run over them getting in here. Move out the way, motherfucker, shit. We ain't seen a nigga in 3 years. What the fuck you talking about? White dude, "Short, go ahead, short, cut in, short." "Well, what do you want, trouble?" "There's a whole bunch of them. It could be cousins or anything." Richard would tell stories, and he was dirty, but I never really heard the profanity with Richard. It was like poetry. That's why Richard still holds the title as the comedy god. I love when white dudes get mad and cuss, right? Because y'all some funny motherfuckers when you cuss. Right? They be saying shit like, yeah, come on, peckerhead. Come on, you fucking jerk-off. Come on. Son of a bitch, come on. You fucking ain't right, buddy. Niggas be talking about, buddy this.
No impact has been like Richard's. He changed the face of comedy. He changed what was all right to talk about. You know, white comics started doing Richard, you know. So it suddenly became something that was accessible to everyone.
Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Well, I think we're all warmed up enough. What do you say we get into a little vulgarity? What do you say?
Beck can do everything. And she just kicked it up into another stratosphere because she put that music in there and all the humor, and brought back, you know, a style of comedy that had been gone for a while when she reintroduced Sophie Tucker to all these young people who didn't have a clue that there was someone called Sophie Tucker.
We are going to have the world's first joke along. Turn the lights on, little motherfuckers. Here we go. There's a little bit of Vicky Edie in all of us. Me first, then you. Got it? Here we go. Joke along time. Everybody up, everybody up. I was in bed last night with my boyfriend Ernie. To me, so, and he said to me, so, you got no tits and a tight spot. You got no tits and a tight spot. I said to him, Ernie, get off my back, get off my back.
The first wave of the landmark on-location specials was launched by Robert Klein, and these shows featured a long list of established comedians whose only previous TV exposure had been in the controlled and clinical environments of The Ed Sullivan Show, The Tonight Show, and The Hollywood Palace. The new on-location series broke precedent by bringing the TV audience to see the comics in their own natural habitats, nightclubs and casino showrooms.
I must say, this looks like my kind of crowd. I really mean it. People dressed up so badly. Look at this. T-shirts and hockey pucks all sitting.
You mean A. Give me a Jewish A.
A 74-year-old widower goes to Florida for a vacation. At the hotel, he meets an adorable little widow, 70. Within 2 or 3 days, they realize they're quite compatible. They have much in common. They begin discussing that situation, living together without getting married. She says, I happen to like you very good. What's with you, the sex situation? He says, infrequently. She says, is this 1 or 2 words?
I'll tell you a joke you could tell has no bad words in it whatsoever, okay? A lady goes to the dentist. He says, that tooth will have to come out. She says, ooh, I'd rather have a baby. He says, make up your mind, I gotta adjust the chair.
And they say the toughest thing about acting is to be able to laugh and to be able to cry. Well, not for me. If I do a scene and the director wants me to cry, I think of my sex life. If he wants me to laugh, I think of my sex life.
The last time there was a gleam in Fang's eye, there was a short in his electric blanket. On our wedding night, he brought a book to bed. I wouldn't mind if he read. He colored.
This lady called the doctor. She said, "Doctor," she said, "I hate to tell you this, but you're giving me the wrong hormone pills." Doctor said, "Just a moment, Mrs. Sampson." She said, "I couldn't make a mistake like that. I'm 47 years in business. I couldn't do that." She said, "Listen, man, you gave me the wrong hormone pills." Doctor said, "Well, how do you know I gave you wrong hormone pills?" She said, "Well, I got hair growing down my chest." She said, doctor said, "Well, how far down is it growing?" She said, "Down to my dick."
One man in particular was able to bridge the gap between the older comics and the new generation. He made a very strong impression on the new guys because he was funny and he didn't give a shit. Rodney Dangerfield.
Well, my wife isn't too smart, you know. She has to reach inside her bra to count to 2. That's all right, I'll work it out. You can, my wife is always something. The other night I woke up, she was saying sexy things. I looked up, she was on the phone. My wife, I got no sex life. The dog keeps watching me in the bedroom, wants to learn how to beg.
You know, Rodney's the great old philosopher. Meeting Rodney is more transforming for a comedian than seeing Rodney. When you meet this man, you know, and every set he's ever done is in his face, you know, and it's somehow very inspiring. It's like meeting Lincoln or Washington or somebody, you know what I mean?
Funny man. Funny man. He can do jokes. I mean, jokes to me are very hard. I've never been able to tell one in my life.
Beyond hip. Rodney's beyond hip.
I tell you, when my wife has sex with me, there's always a reason for it. One night she used me to time an egg. I mean, in my house, I can't relax. The other night, I told my kid, I said, someday you'll have children of your own. He said, so will you. I mean, that's the story of my life. No respect. I don't know respect.
All of these great comedians, however, came from the classic comedy school of setup and punchline storytelling. But suddenly, school was out. All of that was about to change.
I'll be honest with you. I'll probably be hanging out after the show, you know, in the bar, looking for a girl who wants to, well, let's see, what's the most decent way I can put this? Looking for a girl who wants to do a little of this, I guess. And who knows, I may even get into some of this. Boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be wild if she was into this?
I dig. Steve Martin showed that it doesn't have to fit the form. Because when you're a kid and you're watching TV, you think, well, if you want to be on TV, you got to be like what's on TV. And if you can't fit into any of those molds, you think, well, I can't do it. And then a guy like that comes along, and it was so free and fun and silly, and, you know, that's what Steve Martin made everybody feel like it's okay to be a little silly. Of course, he was a lot silly.
Puppy Dog. Venereal disease. If you see this on a toilet seat, don't sit down. Because they leap on you. They go, whoa! Oh, no! I'm shamed. Get it on your lip, too, as I... Ugh. Hello, Mr. Johnson. Is Sally home? Actually, what this is a birth control device. And I'll show you how this works. See, if you wear this on your head, then no one will talk to you.
Stand-up comedy, America's youngest art form, was finally ready to charge headlong into its teenage years. And you know what that means? A hormonal outburst. Suddenly in America, a comedy boom exploded. All over the country, comedy clubs were opening and young comedians were lining up to take their turns on stage. Young, fearless comics, eager to be heard. And HBO allowed them to be heard, even if they didn't always get the name quite right the first time round.
Will you please welcome Jerry Steinfeld? That's right, Jerry Steinfeld.
young comedians, you know. I remember that first one. It was us, and it was an emerging medium, you know. And people that got on, young comedians, that was boom, you know. You were real. You were for real.
I like to go in the greeting card stores. I think they're interesting because greeting cards really reflect, you know, what people are saying to each other. The style of the greeting cards, the communications. There's a section now in every greeting card store I've been in lately where they have greeting cards with no printing on the inside, though. See these? I mean, this is a comment. No words, no message, nothing. It's like Hallmark is saying, hey, we don't know what to tell her. You think of something, pal. For 65 cents, I don't want to get involved.
My mom always called us pigs, boy. 7 boys, you little pigs. You little red-butted monkey little pigs. All you do is shit and eat. That's all you do. She said, don't even bother speaking. Just grunt like the pigs you are. She said, all men need are 3 things. You don't think your old man grunts? Give him a steak, honey. You like that? You want the butter or the salt?
I was born in Alabama, but I was raised in Georgia. I guess I'm so Southern, I'm related to myself. Thank you. And I've been in New York City for 4 years, and I know I'm almost a New Yorker. I can tell, because right after I moved there, I caught myself going, hey, lady, we're all in a fucking hurry, all right? Did I say that? I used to be married to a redneck down there. I guess that's why I sound like this. I was married to a sure enough redneck. I was married to a man who'd watch fishing shows and pay attention. Like, I wonder what he's going to do next. Like, well, sugar, they're probably going to cast out a really strong test and get a real big walleyed pike, and then him and that other guy are going to pat each other on the back, and then they're going to let the fish go and piss off all the men watching this show. Have you seen it before?
My name is Jim Carrey. I'm a singing comic impressionist, and I'd like to start off this evening with a piece from the new punk ballet, Wounded Swan Lake. Thank you. You know, I think I've spent practically my entire life staring in the mirror. I have, but I wasn't staring at me. I was staring at Leonid Brezhnev. Clint Eastwood. Charles Bronson. Michael Landon smiling.
Because, you know, it's been a while since I've been with anybody, and I thought maybe I, you know, forgot how to do it. And a friend of mine said, listen, Ellen, having sex is kind of like riding a bicycle, you know what I mean? And I know it's been a while, but I don't ever remember pedaling. I don't, you know. Once, but I was really, really drunk, you know. I don't, you know. Yeah. Sex is a strange thing, isn't it? It's a crazy thing. We probably have the most normal mating habit, though. You know what the golden eagle does? You do. What does it do? In the air, 80 miles an hour. This is what they do. The male and the female both go 3 to 4 miles high, start going 80 miles an hour and connect. And then they start dropping, and they don't stop dropping until the act is completed, so it's not uncommon that they both fall all the way to the ground, hit the ground, and both of them die. That's how committed they are to it. No, yeah, I thought to myself, boy, don't we feel like wimps for answering the phone. You know.
There are many things that we have no information, but we just know, well, that's what they say. I don't know who they are or why they said. It's a place in Washington, I think. It's a bureau, the they department. If people don't want to be responsible, they go, hey, I didn't say it. They said it. They didn't say it. I'm just saying it. They said the word just gets you off the hook. Just is very important. You can even offend somebody. Looks like you're putting on some weight. You saying I'm fat? No, I'm just saying you look fat, that's all. You're just saying. All right. Well, you don't think? No, I don't think you're fat. I'm just saying you're fat. There's no brain work. There's not a thought in my head indicating that you're overweight. But I'm just saying the words, you're a big chubby guy. I'm just saying.
It's a thrill to be out of the house. I never get out of the house. I never go no place. I never have no fun ever, 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 because I'm a housewife. You a housewife too? Yeah, I hate that word. I hate the word homemaker, too. I want to be called domestic goddess. So I am a mom, I tell you that. That's great. I got 3 kids. I'll tell you how I had them. You'll love it. Well, I had one with the birth control pill, then I had one with the diaphragm, then I had another one with the IUD. I don't even know what happened to my IUD. Never came out. But I have my suspicions, because that kid picks up HBO.
I totally love to surf, okay? Because, like, I really feel, like, aesthetically, like, connected with the ocean. Because, like, no, really, because, like, you know, there's water in my body and water in the ocean, and, like, we pass water, water passes us. I mean, it's, like, really, like, connected, you know? And, like, I totally love to surf, okay? Because, like, I just love it, you know? And, like, one time, like, you know, like I was on the beach and like these people came up to me and they said like, are you a valley girl? And I said, no, I'm a surfer because before there was the mall, there was the ocean, okay? So, yeah, you know, like
She's hilarious. I love Whoopi. And I used to see her working out at the Comedy Store in the belly room, and it was hilarious because she would come on and do these characters, and you could hear people go, well, is she a comedian? Because people, as you say at the beginning, only thought of comedians as that one thing, which is that they do jokes. And, of course, she doesn't do jokes, and she's brilliant.
And my mother made me go to my room because she said this wasn't nothing but a shirt on my head. And I said, nah, this is my long, luxurious blonde hair. And she said, nah, fool, that's a shirt. And I said, you a fool, it's my hair. And she made me go to my room. But I don't care, because when I get big, I'm going to get 50 million, trillion, million elephants, and I'm going to let them go in the house. They can trample on everybody. And then she's going to want me to make them stop, but she ain't even going to know I'm there, because I'm going to have blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm going to be white. I am. After that, I'd get mail from, like, Moscow, Idaho, which I love. It's a great college town. You know, from Iowa City, from Chicago, from Detroit. You know, suddenly, the world, the country opened up to me in a way that it hadn't before, that it would have taken me several years to accomplish, was accomplished in a night. You know, it was phenomenal. I can say anything I want. I can talk about anybody, anything, anytime when I'm working on cable.
Because you can always tell when God is talking. God's real clear. He's got those commandments. Doesn't matter what religion you're in, the commandments are the same. Don't lie, because you ain't never going to remember the bullshit you said the night before. Don't fuck your neighbor's wife, because you're going to be mad as hell when he's fucking yours. You know? Honor your mother and father, because you're going to need child care soon. You know, the one thing that I liked that God said was, you know, he who is without dog shit on your sneaker, take the first step on the white rug. You know? And what religion is better? Ask the English and the Irish. See, religion to me is like a sanitary napkin. If it fits, wear it.
Over the past 18 years, HBO has observed 2 traditions. One is every year they throw several young virgins into a volcano. The other is every year they throw several young comedians on stage in the annual HBO Young Comedian Show. This tradition continues to the present day. However, in 1977, a very special moment occurred when America got its first blast of comic energy from a unique young talent.
Can you dim the lights? Fuck it, I'll do it myself.
First time I saw Robin Williams was in 1977. It was like watching a comet loose in a room, banging around the room. You couldn't contain him.
Oh, you're following me. They're after me. They're after me. Oh, no, they're after me. Siberian mine. Here we go.
I'd never seen anything like this in my life. I'd never seen a comic dare to leave the stage without a microphone.
I must get from the hence the stage, a non-post haste. Pass Gucci, pass leisure suit. sandwich to warm myself. I will take it. My sister Hernia, what news?
I didn't know Robin was Robin, and I didn't know who this funny white boy was. No, I mean it. I didn't. And he was that funny.
When Bobby Jones, the great golfer, saw Jack Nicklaus play, his famous quote was, "The game that this young man plays is a game I'm not familiar with." Watching Robin Williams, I realized that I've been a comedian for 55 years, and we're not in the same business. He takes it to another level, totally to another level.
My son is 3 years old. It's an amazing time. It's like big head, little tiny body. It's an outrageous time when they ask you about everything. It's like,
Why is the sky blue?
well, because of the atmosphere.
Why is there atmosphere?
Well, because we need to breathe.
Why do we breathe?
What the fuck do you want to know? A year ago, you were sitting in your own shit. Now you're Carl Sagan. What is it? Who are you? Are you Buddha? Ask Mommy. She's omnipotent. She knows everything. It's a little tiny creature, man. And they imitate everything you do. I was driving in traffic. Someone cut me off. I went, fuck it. From behind me, in his little rocket seat, a voice went, fuck it. All day long, he followed me around the house going,
Fuck it.
a sweet little old lady walked up and said, oh, what a beautiful child.
Fuck you.
It's the Williams boy.
The amazing thing about Robin is that, one, he's never stopped that energy. And two, his perceptions get smarter, and the things that he likes to talk about get much more mature or more about what we're all experiencing. And he has this amazing laser technique to just trim away the fat and get right to the bone of what it is with a, sometimes not a, really even a funny joke. But it's an observation and it's an attitude that's blurring, but it just brings you right to the present.
At times, my son looks at me and gives me that look in the eyes like,
Well, what's it gonna be?
hey, Zach, it's, I don't know. But maybe along the way, you take my hand, tell a few jokes, and have some fun. Hey, how do you get to the Met?
Money.
Yeah. Come on, pal. You're not afraid, are you?
Nah. Fuck it.
Pretty soon another part of American life was coming under comic scrutiny, and that is the idea that white, Christian, heterosexual males were the only people in this country who mattered. The newest wave of young comedians was ready to use its talent in a healthy way to confront prejudice and stereotypes, while still making sure to ridicule and belittle a few other people along the way.
I love Detroit. All Mexicans should visit Detroit once in their life. After all, it is our Hispanic holy land. It's the birthplace of the Chevy. Because say what you will, we Hispanics, we're loyal consumers, man. You never see us in no Toyota, right? We always drive American cars. Because you can't do anything in these Japanese cars. Have you ever tried to make love inside a Toyota? You manage to get your girlfriend in the car. She's in the car going, yes, Paul, yes. Ooh. And you're outside banging on the window, honey. Baby. That's not me. You're in fourth gear.
So, as you know by now, I'm Korean. I don't have a store or anything. Well, not anymore. I look very Korean. I have very typically Korean features. I look like one of those girls that you would see in a Korean grocery store on a calendar, holding a box of soy milk.
Drink Vitasoy. It's good for you.
Now, I have a little confession to make. In college, I experimented with heterosexuality. I slept with a straight guy. I was really drunk. According to Time magazine, 1 out of 3 American teenagers experiments with homosexuality, but only 1 in a million does it as a science fair project.
I am Irish. My father is from Ireland. He's got a thick brogue. You're Irish, I could tell. You could sneak into one of my family reunions. He's got a thick brogue, and when I was a kid, my friend used to make fun of him. He never knew it. They'd call my house, she'd answer the phone. Hello, who do you want to speak to? And my friends would say, oh, he's after me Lucky Charms, a Frastro Cheerios, face to face. And he never knew he'd write it down. Slow down, sweetheart, I'm trying to get it off the Frastro Cheerios. I'd come home, there'd be messages on the refrigerator. Ro, Jackie called, said, manly, yes, but I like it too.
I just don't want to get too comfortable. Brothers can't afford to get too comfortable, you know? Because that's when you become the porn. That's when they use your ass. Anytime white people want to smooth some shit over, they go get that rich nigga and put you on TV to represent the people, you know? You have you asking your questions like, Damon, now that you made this $13 million, and we're not counting, now that you made all this money, let me ask you this. Let me just throw this out at you. You respond any way you want. Is there racism in America? You be sitting there thinking about that paycheck, talking about, no, sir. If and there is, I ain't seen none.
Comedy became rock and roll, especially in the from the early 70s, late 70s to the late 80s. It was like the rock and roll. Murphy was just like, I mean, he was amazing because he would see, every comic wishes that they could get up on stage in a leather suit and have, you know, Eddie would have like explosions and just act like Michael Jackson. He'd disappear, you know, and come back and do the rest of the show. He was just like, he took it to another level in terms of being, you know, being good-looking, funny, you know, wacky at times.
Jesse Jackson seen that shit and said, fuck it, I'm gonna run too, fuck it. I seen Jesse in the gym working the fuck out too, boy, getting in shape. He know if he win, because you know he got a chance he can win. White dudes like to do shit like that, vote for the wrong dude as a goof. They get drunk and shit and go in there and say, let's vote for Jesse Jackson. I just voted for Jesse Jackson. The next day they'd be like this, they fucking won? Jesse know that shit can happen. He gets in shape. I seen him running around the track and shit. I said, why the fuck you getting in shape like this? He said, because I'm going to be the first black president. I had to get speeches like this. My fellow Americans, as your president I feel, that we the people must get together and join hands. Are you watching these motherfuckers back here? Because I don't think they're too happy about this shit. What dude he going? He won't stay still.
One thing that never seems to change is the battle of the sexes. Comedians have been doing jokes about male-female relationships since, well, actually since before there were two sexes. I believe the whole thing began with the amoebas who used to say, take half my body, please. What I'm trying to say is that every new group of comics that comes along has something to add to this eternal subject. And every new group of comics seems to dig a little deeper. So here then we present a whole new generation of comedians who have suffered permanent emotional damage in the never-ending battle of the sexes.
I was single for a very long time. Before I met my husband, I'd never fallen in love. I'd stepped in it a few times. You know how I used to end relationships? I'd never say, this isn't working out, or I don't want to see you anymore. If I never wanted to see a man again, I'd just say, you know, I love you. I want to marry you. I want to have your children. Sometimes I'd leave skid marks.
I met a new girl at a barbecue, very pretty girl, blonde, I think. I don't know, her hair was on fire, but, yeah, and all she talked about was herself. You know those kind of girls, you know? I'm hot, I'm on fire, me, you know? Jesus Christ. Help me, put me out. Come on, could we talk about me a little bit? All right, so I'm driving her home. I get her home. I'm on the couch, I'm really getting into it, and she comes into the room. Because I'm warming up, you know, and it went great. I'm great in bed. I don't never fall out. I have guardrails. I have a hospital bed. You know, I have a mirror over my bed, and on it says, objects are larger than they appear.
Every little thing, when you dating them, they don't even set you up. Oh, when you dating, you just bring joy to my life. To be with you brings brightness to my face. And you be tripping like, yeah. Yeah, you think you're the man now. Be standing there in front of the judge or the preacher. I do. And then she goes, I do. Some things got to change around here. I don't think I like your attitude.
You know, pretty woman, hard to get along with. Ugly woman, easy, you know, they don't want no trouble, you know? I'm serious. Ugly women don't want no trouble to eat, you know what I'm saying? They do anything, cook all night for you. You can tell them anything, too, ugly one, can't you? Hey, bitch, I'm going to the moon. Oh, that's right, I said I'm going to the moon. I'll be back in a couple of days. Well, you be careful. You know, I don't want that to happen to you, baby.
Stop bugging about being married, you know, like having a husband and everything, because they really get on your nerves. Are you kidding? They really get on your nerves. Like, you know, like when they all the time try to talk to you, don't you hate that? Comes in there, Roseanne, don't you think we should talk about our sexual problems? Like, I'm going to turn off Wheel of Fortune for that. You know what I mean? I forget about that. You know, he comes in there, Roseanne, why don't you never try to be more aggressive in bed? Did you believe that? Somebody says something that personal to you anyways? You try to be more aggressive in bed. So I thought about it and everything, and then the other night we're laying there and he reached for me, so I said, no!
Jack and Joe went up the hill, both with $1.25. Joe came down with $2.50. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Trim that pussy, it's so damn hairy. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her old dog a bone. She bent over. Rover took over. She got a bone of her own. I don't know. Yeah, good old Mother Goose. Remember her? I fucked her.
Would you like to have your nipples played with, Ace? I bet you do. I bet you liked it so much you took a Black & Decker and just sanded them right off. Felt a little bit too goddamn good, didn't it, Ace? Play with them, touch them. See, men are obsessed with women's nipples. They'll just play with them for hours. You can be asleep and they'll still be at it. You know, they don't understand that there's a very fine line between eroticism and nausea. It's like, if you don't stop playing with my nipples, I'm going to throw up. Please. Touch them briefly, fuck me, and go home.
We were headed for an orgasm custody battle. I'm convinced of this now. I mean, I know intercourse is one of her pet peeves, she said, you know. I mean, when you're making love, I mean, she was giving herself a breast examination, you know. She said, I want to get my orgasm out of the way, which I felt was humiliating. You know, I was trying to be good, I mean, but she mocks me. She said I gave her an anticlimax, she was telling my friends, you know. You know, while I'm trying to get, you know, and during foreplay, she went, okay, I get the point. You know, she wanted to do, like, I read The Joyous Sex, whatever that book was, position 9000A, you're in bed, you know, your wife's holding a wok, you know, it's like, are we making love now? Am I even in the room? Is my penis involved in this act now? If I had to write a sex manual, I'd probably call it, ow, you're on my hair. That's what I would call it.
Of course, not every comic performer is a monologist. Some comics are less traditional. I know one guy whose whole act consists of sucking 30 pounds of yak bacon through a mailing tube. Of course, he has the great advantage of knowing that no one is going to steal his act. But it is true that many of our best comedians don't really do jokes in the traditional sense. They do characters, or they become characters. They work with concepts. They experiment with form. This is another area where HBO chose not to play it safe. Here are some of the best.
Oh, hi. Come on in. I'm David Letterman. Just having a little fun here. In fact, I like to think of myself as Mr. Fun. What exactly is fun? Well, Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary tells us that fun, which, by the way, in the dictionary comes just before fungus infection, and isn't that always the case? Fun is anything which provides amusement or enjoyment. Certainly seems simple enough. Now then, where do we go to find fun? Well, I guess you could start by looking in the Yellow Pages under fun. And in the Yellow Pages, fun is right next to funerals. I believe there's a message there also.
So, how was your flight? Lovely. Lovely. Very pleasant. I always think that it's a good flight if the plane doesn't fall out of the sky and burst into a ball of flame. Am I right? Uh-huh.
Hey, Frank, Jay here was in Korea.
Oh, great. Why did he bring back?
No, the war. Like MASH.
Oh, come on, I'm not waiting anymore. Hold this, honey.
She is a can-do gal, my little friend.
Heads up!
I have something I think I should tell you.
Yeah?
I'm not like other guys.
I know that.
No, I mean I'm different.
What's wrong?
Go away.
Hey, right now it's time to see what's in my bag of tricks. Okay. This right here is the big green weed, and it goes like this. Okay, this right here is the little frog. It's not that funny. Okay, you just, you know, okay, but look, when you turn over, look. Okay, I'm not supposed to bring these out here, okay, okay, this right here is the little spider right here, and it goes like this.
Remember the Superman TV show with George Reeves? Okay, here's the scene. Superman corners the bad guy, right? The bad guy whips out a gun. Do you remember that episode? The bad guy then proceeds at point-blank range to empty the gun. So, bang, 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 bang. Soup is standing there, right? I'm on first-name basis with all superheroes, you should know. Soup is standing there, you know, with his hands on his hips, with that bored look on his face, you know, and he's got that shit-eating grin as they're bouncing over, that grin that seems to say, "You stupid bastard, I'm Superman." Didn't you see the name on the show? It's not called Big Dumb Fat Guy with Gun, now is it? But he just bang, 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 and he's just standing there. But invariably, right, what happens? He runs out of bullets, right? So what does he do? Always, he throws the gun to him, and he ducks. Like, whoa. Whoa. Hey, 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 hey.
And inside, waiting to greet the royal party, are the stars of the film, as well as those tireless backroom boys who really make it all happen. behind the scenes.
Oh, this is my cousin Ephraim. I can't show you him because he's an illegal alien, all right? Sorry. This is my mother Gladys. And work it, and work it, and feel that butt. What happened, Aunt Anita? How you doing, Nina? Bring your childbearing hips over here, Mommy. You look terrific. Well, let me tell you, 20 children haven't slowed you down one bit. I'm telling you. I'm just teasing you. You want to diet? And then I'm on a diet too, but what you see is a very tall woman trapped in a very short body.
So now we've got the female pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Well, she gets to have a baby. What does the guy get?
Oh, squat.
Zip.
Bupkis.
He'll be hurt and jealous.
All right, let's just balance it out.
Oh, why don't make the power of birth have some drawbacks? Dull the shine a little.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's good, that's good.
We can make it messy for one.
Messy, messy, good. I like messy, yeah. Messy. Maybe uncomfortable?
Yes.
Would that be good?
Oh, not just uncomfortable.
No.
Painful.
Painful. Painful. I like pain. That's good. Pain. But how pain? I mean, is she going to give herself pain? Figure a way to implement the
Well,
pain?
here we go.
Okay.
We could have the baby.
The baby.
Grow inside the female's stomach for, about an earth year. And then have it come out a small portal in her body.
You're bad. but that's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
You do?
A small portal.
Portal.
That's where the pain comes in.
You betcha.
Think of twins.
I want to find out who my real stepfather is. My natural parents won't tell me where he is, but I'd really like to find him. I just have this curious need that I have to satisfy. But I do have a great relationship with my real father. In fact, I saw him last weekend. We went to a parade together. It was just like old times.
Now, what about your father?
My main fear is I just don't really trust anyone. I don't think anyone presents themselves to me the way that they really are. You know, I know it sounds paranoid, but I just can't help it.
And believe me, when you're talking non-traditional, you're talking Andy Kaufman.
He was insane, funny-wise. I mean, he was insane.
I never knew when he was kidding or not. Watching him, I always used to say, they'd throw a net on his head, you know, they'd take him away. But he had an incredible mind. Distorted, bizarre, and cruel.
You think you can do anything a man does? You want my respect, you're going to have to earn it. The day you can come up here and knock me down, that's when you'll get my respect. Till then, stay in the kitchen where you belong. Okay? I'd like to, okay, why don't you get off the stage? Get off the stage.
Shut up.
I'm not putting up anything. Just get off the stage.
Look, I haven't seen any entertainment.
Get off the
you
stage.
challenged me. You called me.
Lady, get off the stage. I'm not going to get any crap from you.
Hey, you told me.
Get off the stage. Get off the stage.
I'm not getting...
Get off the stage. Get off. Get off. Had enough?
One of the very special comedians HBO has presented over the years is Billy Crystal. Billy has done monologue, he's done wonderful characters, and he's produced a body of work that ranks with the finest.
My first special for HBO was in 1979. To me, I was doing soap then, so I didn't have a chance to really show a mass audience what I felt I could do. They were seeing me as, the one character. So when they approached me about doing a special, I just thought it was the greatest opportunity I ever had.
You do.
Muhammad, you're not the same man you were 10 years ago. You seem to be tired. You're breathing hard. What's the trouble? Are you slipping? Are you finished? Are you washed up?
You ain't the same man you were 10 years ago. Is that your real hair?
The Moscow show happened, it was really a very emotional show for me. They didn't know me. They hadn't seen me. They had no idea. We put posters around Moscow that said, "An evening with an American comic." And they lined up. Of course, we put, free food on the bottom also. But no, they lined up around the block. And then they came in, and they were one of the best audiences I've ever had in my life.
Меня зовут Билли Кристал. Я американский комик. Я первый американский комик в Москве. После Рональда Рейгана.
That's what was great about doing those shows, was you could experiment, you could do things, not just with language, but with ideas and concepts, and the audience wanted to see stuff like that.
I was in the hallway, and I remembered right after my bar mitzvah, my Aunt Sheila talking to me. Now, you have to picture this woman. Makeup, sort of kabuki theater. She has that cigarette with the ashes about that long, and you can't understand why it's not falling. You just want to grab it, and she can't understand why her voice sounds like this.
I'd been to Russia in 1987 with the B'nai B'rith group from Boca Raton. Bill's Uncle Leonard and I went there on a trip. It was a horror. Take toilet paper and plenty of it. Leonard said, why don't I just drop my pants and rub my hiney on a curb for about 2 weeks? He had the ass of a baboon. It was disgusting.
My name is Buddy Young Jr. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, okay? And this is flying.
Yeah, you're just working extemporaneous.
This is what we're talking off the top of my head, what's left of it. That decided to recede around 19 boom, I'll tell you that one. Sammy. Billy, how are you, babe? How you doing? Hold me close. This is for you and you only, man. I am having such nachas being here with you. You know what I mean. Yeah. Because it's warm and it's nice. Thanks for having me, babe, and I mean that. Okay. I feel like Nixon here. Go and do. Pleasure to be here, man.
The other night, see, I was in the park and I did a concert. Oh, I was blowing, man, 4 hours. Every riff I knew, man. Boo-doo-dwee, ba-doo-da-da-da. Boo-doo-dwee, ba-da-ba-doo-ba-ba-ba-doo. Man, I'm telling you, if I had had my horn, it would have been heavy. Can you dig that? I knew that you could.
Billy Crystal went to a foreign country where he thought no one would understand him. I can do that right in this country. I can do that here tonight. Now listen, I wasn't as old as the old-time comics, but I wasn't young enough to be one of the newcomers either. I was sort of in between, kind of a tweener. And I was lucky because when I got started, comedy had just gone through tremendous changes. Prior to that time, most comedians wore ballet slippers and spoke in thick Turkish accents. Just trying to see if you're still paying attention. But up until the 1950s in comedy, there were certain subjects that had always been taboo. We've mentioned race. You certainly couldn't talk realistically about sex. Religion, strictly out of bounds. And politics, well, it was all right to talk about the president's golf game, but not about the president's putts. And then in the 1950s and the early 1960s, all those lines were erased. Lenny Bruce, Lord Buckley, Mort Sahl, Dick Gregory, and a handful of other comedians changed the landscape. But the new comedy was never fully reflected on television. Network television just went on about its business, trying not to offend, presenting only comedy that was bland, safe, and predictable, except for the Smothers Brothers, and they got fired. Then came HBO, and television comedy really changed. Now if you wanted to say Nixon blows and you can tell Jesus I said so, you had a place to say it. Is this a great country, huh?
I saw The Last Temptation of Christ. He dies at the end. Oh, I ruined the movie for you. Yeah. Actually, he dies at the beginning. Then you gotta guess which celebrity guest star killed him.
Television preachers are amazing. They say God talks to them. God talks to them, and they can only get a show on cable? Vatican came down with a new ruling. You know what the Vatican said? No surrogate mothers. Ooh, good thing that they make this rule before Jesus was born.
Bruce is so big now that God borrows money from Bruce Springsteen. God called Bruce up the other day and said, Bruce, can I borrow $3 million? I want to do another earthquake in Mexico. And then I ran out of money, and I was wondering if you could help me out. I kid God, because I feel God has a sense of...
I find it ironic that people who are against sexual thoughts are generally these fundamentalist Christians who also believe you should be fruitful and multiply. Seems like they would support sexual thoughts, you know, perhaps even a centerfold in the Bible. Miss Deuteronomy. I actually did that joke in Alabama, right? These 3 rednecks met me after the show, man. Hey, buddy, come here. Hey, buddy, we're Christians. We don't like what you said. I said, then forgive me.
I know Jesus was never married. Guy never had a wife. No, he was never married. Because no wife would buy this story in 100 years. The disciples will, the believers will. No wife would buy this fucking story. Good luck. Good luck with this story. First of all, he leaves on Friday afternoon with 12 other guys. He comes home Monday afternoon looking like he hasn't slept. And it's just like he's partied out, man. And Mrs. Jesus is just waiting, going, oh, okay, I guess it's day 3 of this show. Okay. Well, I'm glad you could find your way home, Savior. Where's your 12 friends who won't get a job? How are they? Jesus is going, I don't need this shit. Not after what I went through this weekend. No, honey, I'll tell you right now. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll tell you where I've been. First of all, not that it ruined your weekend any, but I was dead! Do you understand that, you fucking bitch? I was dead! So now I gotta fight the angel of death, get my fucking soul back, crawl out of the grave, come on to this shit, because I missed you, honey!
I miss Sam. You know, I miss Sam because when he was crazy, you know, he was a mean dude. But when he was there was nobody better. Nobody better, nobody funnier, you know, nobody more on the nose and you couldn't get mad. You just go, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like anybody else on the planet. I'm very moved by world hunger. I see the same commercials. Those little kids starving and very depressed. And yeah, I watch these things on TV and I see those commercials and I look at it and I go, God, how cruel, you know. To see a little kid out there and I go, fuck, you know, I know the film crew could give this kid a sandwich. You know the kid's not out there, you know, filming a letter from home with a Betamax, huh? You know, there's a director 5 feet away going, don't feed him yet! Get that sandwich out of here! It doesn't work unless he looks hungry! But I'm not trying to make fun of world hunger. Matter of fact, I think I have the answer, because I spent a lot of time working it out. And if you want to stop world hunger, Stop sending them food. Don't send these people another bite, folks. You want to send them something? You want to help? Send them U-Hauls. Send them U-Hauls, some luggage. Send them a guy out there that goes, hey, you know, we've been driving out here every day with your food for like the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years. And we were driving out here today across the desert, and it occurred to us there wouldn't be world hunger if you people would live where the food is! You live in a desert! Understand that you live in a fucking desert! Nothing grows out here! Nothing's gonna grow out here!
You see this? Huh? This is sand. Yeah. It's sand. You know it's going to be 100 years from now, huh?
It's gonna be sad! You live in a fucking desert! Get your kids and your shit, we'll make one trip! We'll take you to where the food is! We have deserts in America, we just don't live in them, asshole!
I think that the powers that be, those who control our fame and fortune and our livelihood, are going to make, you know, are going to put restrictions on us. But I don't think that the real humorist is going to back away from what he has to say or what must be said. I don't think so. I don't, you know, but isn't it amazing that political humor comes to another level when we have a funny president?
When I was a kid, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the President of the United States. And when you're a kid, I just took it for granted that he'd always be the President of the United States. In fact, nobody looked more like the President of the United States. And then all of a sudden he was gone. But the country went on. There was continuity. First there was a feisty haberdasher. And then there was a great war hero. And then a young Irishman promised us Camelot, followed by a cowboy, a putz, and a yacht. Why would anybody want the job? No matter how popular the president is, they all get into trouble. Eisenhower had the Suez Crisis, Kennedy had the Bay of Pigs, Johnson had Vietnam, Nixon had Watergate, Ford had trouble standing. Carter had the hostages, and now our most popular president is in trouble. But I must say that Ronald Reagan behaved nobly. He stepped forward and blamed it on everybody else.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Since Vietnam, we've only fought with countries we know we can beat the shit out of anyway. I mean, we attacked Grenada. There was a battle, huh, boy? We kicked some ass there. Our finest hour, or half hour, as the case may be. Then we attacked Libya, tried to kill Gaddafi. He's the president of the country, lives in a tent. We couldn't kill him. How hard is it to get a bomb in a tent? That's a double net thing, sir. We couldn't, there was... I mean, this is a crack military. Remember the raid into Iran to get the hostages out? That was, you know, the helicopters back into each other. I mean, to die in battle is one thing. To have an accident in the parking lot, I mean, wow. Just at least get to the gig, fellas, you know. But, you know, people love it. It always plays great in the press. You know, we bombed Libya. People went, yeah, let's bomb them back to the Stone Age. Great. What's that going to set them back? 3 weeks? I mean...
The Supreme Court has now turned the issue of abortion over to the states. Hey, folks, the states can't pave fucking roads, okay? I don't believe in abortion, but then again, I have a penis and think I should probably stay out of it. It seems rather easy for the men to sit on the sideline turtle-waxing their genitalia while the women have to make all the hard decisions. I think that should be their slogan, one cock, no vote.
It's been a little while since I've been here, and a couple of things that happened in that time. I'd like to talk a little bit about the war in the Persian Gulf. Big doings in the Persian Gulf. You know my favorite part of that war? It's the first war we ever had that was on every channel plus cable. And the war got good ratings, too, didn't it? Got good ratings. Well, we like war. We like war. We're a warlike people. We like war because we're good at it. And you know why we're good at it? Because we get a lot of practice. This country's only 200 years old, and already we've had 10 major wars. We average a major war every 20 years in this country, so we're good at it. And it's a good thing we are. We're not very good at anything else anymore. Huh? Can't build a decent car. Can't make a TV set or a VCR worth a fuck. Got no steel industry left. Can't educate our young people. Can't get health care to our old people. But we can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? We can bomb the shit out of your country, all right? Especially if your country is full of brown people. Oh, we like that, don't we? That's our hobby. That's our new job in the world, bombing brown people. Iraq, Panama, Grenada, Libya, you got some brown people in your country. Tell them to watch the fuck out, or we'll goddamn bomb them. Well, when's the last white people you can remember that we bombed? Can you remember the last white? Can you remember any white people we've ever bombed? The Germans, those are the only ones, and that's only because they were trying to cut in on our action. They wanted to dominate the world. Bullshit, that's our fucking job.
Guy's good. Guy's good. Not satisfied to rest on its stand-up laurels, HBO then plunged into the production of original comedy series, and they managed to break new ground there, too. Usually, if you say TV comedy series, people assume you mean sitcoms. Au contraire, mon frère. Not always true. All the word series means is that it comes on more than once. It's a series. And just as HBO recognized that stand-up comics have different styles, comedy series can also have different styles. E.g., or is it I.E.? Ergo? Watch this.
In reviewing your financial situation, we've determined that you have no collateral, no previous experience running a business, not even a credit rating. Gentlemen, you haven't even been able to produce any identification. I feel it would be inadvisable of the bank to approve a loan at this juncture. I'm sorry.
You don't like us. That's what this is all about, really, isn't it? I told you, it's all a popularity contest.
Gentlemen, it's nothing personal.
Nothing personal? You don't like us. That's nothing personal. You'll be sorry when we're dead. Bet you will. Bet you will. Bet you. Bet you. Bet you will. Bet you will. Bet you will. Bet you will.
Telephone. Hello, Eleanor Dickinson.
This is her house here. Are you sure? Hey, get off my back. Sorry.
Live on tape from Hollywood, The Larry Sanders Show.
I want to thank you for being here. I hope you'll come back soon.
No.
You'll be coming back, won't you?
No.
Come on, won't you be coming back?
I don't think so.
You'll be coming back, won't you?
No, that'll be it.
You're
Okay.
coming back?
Yes.
No, you're coming
All
back.
right, I'll come back to see Hank.
May I say, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. We'll be right back. We have Will Smith. This has been Sharon Stone, and stay tuned, no flipping.
Thank you.
Let me walk you.
Thank you.
Boy, thanks. Just great.
Oh, I feel so uncomfortable when I do these shows.
Really? Well, so do I.
You do?
Yeah.
You're so good at
No,
it.
trust me, I hate myself. So what does someone like you do now?
Tonight?
Yeah.
I'm having dinner with Oliver Stone.
Wow, that's just what I imagined someone like you doing, having dinner with Oliver Stone. He's such an interesting guy.
Larry, what are you doing here during the show? Is there a problem or something?
There's no problem. I'm walking Miss Stone out. Common courtesy.
Oh, right. Right. Good. There's a lot of gang activity in this part of the hallway.
You know, if you married Oliver Stone, you'd be Sharon Stone. Oh, you.
Actually, we are married. No, I'm kidding. I'm not really. I don't even really know him, but we're going to discuss a future project.
Oh, that is so great. I'd love to talk to that guy, because I think my mother had something to do with the Kennedy assassination.
Is there anything you don't understand? I mean, you got any questions?
Actually I do.
Shoot.
What's cunnilingus?
Why don't we hold off on that for a bit? What else have you got?
Do you masturbate? What's bestiality?
Linda.
Blowjob? And, smegma.
Why don't we just start with when a man and woman love each other very much?
It's the Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam. You're the brother. Hey, how you doing? The older brother sitting there in the middle. How you doing, man? Got the beard, got your little, I don't know what the color that shit is, just yellow jacket on. How you doing? You been around. I like you. You just got that look like you've been around, huh? How old are you, man? 25. 25 years old. Don't you love old people? You gotta respect them, man, don't you? They see you dancing and shit. What that dance you doing there, what? Oh, shit, that ain't nothing but the scrawl. That's all that is. That's all that is. You ain't doing no shit we ain't done.
Why don't we start by letting humor serve as our guide? You know, laughter is one of the great beacons in life because we don't diffract it by gunning it through our intellectual prism. What makes us laugh is a mystery, an involuntary response. If I could explain to you why Jerry Lewis makes me laugh when he's trying to be serious, and why he makes me straight-faced when he's trying to get me to laugh, I'd have the answer. But I don't. But damn it, I'm telling you, the key lies somewhere in Lewis. The point is, people who are threatened by jokes are the same people who tend to refer to actors on soap operas by their character's name. Listen. There's the real world, and then there's the joke world, okay? The joke world can get tough. Wear a cup.
Now knows that Grenada produces more nutmeg than any other place on Earth. But what other reasons could you have to invade such a meaningless little island?
Number one, Grenada does produce more nutmeg than any other place on Earth. Number two, the Soviets and Cubans were trying to take Grenada. Number three, you can't make eggnog without nutmeg. Number four, you can't have Christmas without eggnog. Number five, the Soviets and the Cubans were trying to steal Christmas.
I can't believe he didn't get me something to eat. Oh, I'm so hungry. Is that a steak? Maybe when he looks out the window, I can quick grab a piece of toast.
During the 1980s, America held a series of fundraising events that not only raised money, but also raised the public's consciousness regarding various causes. There was Live Aid, Farm Aid, Hands Across America, Schmucks Around Chicago, and Dicks Across Detroit. But HBO did something no network had ever done. They donated an entire evening's programming to raising money to help America's homeless. And so in 1986, a who's who of comedians all got together for a common cause, and comic relief was born.
Tonight, you good comedy citizens, we're going to look America right in the eye and say, don't be a greedy bastard. Those yuppie days are over.
to be here. I just want to do something special. I want to strip naked and sing the theme from Fame right now. I really do. Oh, you like the song too? It's a great song. I know. I don't know what I want. Let's all go up on the roof and sing Let It Be. Do you want to do that? Come on, I want to put a shoebox on my lap and give you a puppet show. I'm serious. I've never been this happy, ladies and gentlemen.
I am so sick of every guy who's up for some sort of government office saying he experimented with drugs. You know, unless there's a lab coat and data involved. And I care about losing this goofy double standard. I mean, I hope it works that way for you, and I hope if I get pulled over in my car with drugs, I'll be able to say, but officer, here in the laboratory, I can't roll the window down. It will affect the variables.
If I touch this thing, let's watch the fun. I want some more money. I'm going to grab this thing. This could suddenly become a benefit for my girlfriend. No way, I lost my girlfriend. No way, I didn't really lose my girlfriend. I mean, I know where she is still. Just when I go there, there's this new guy doing it.
Did you ever notice when you go to somebody else's house, you never quite feel 100% at home? You know why? No room for your stuff. Somebody else's stuff is all over the place. And what awful stuff it is. Where did they get this stuff? And if you have to stay overnight at someone's house, you know, unexpectedly, and they give you a little room to sleep in that they don't use that often, someone died in it 11 years ago, and they haven't moved any of his stuff. Or wherever they give you to sleep, usually right near the bed there's a dresser, and there's never any room on the dresser for your stuff. Someone else's shit is on the dresser. Have you noticed that their stuff is shit and your shit is stuff? Get that off of there.
Speaking of white people,
Yes, let's talk about
this
white
little Jose Ebert thing you're doing with his hair.
Well,
Are we going to talk about this?
okay, let me say something.
Wait, hold me back.
Let me tell you what I'm using in my hair now.
What?
I'm using a combination of sperm and mousse.
What's it called? I should have waited.
I
It is called?
Spoof.
It was a hard gig. I'm there between Billy and Robin. You have to be fast to keep up with them, you know, and you have to like zip in there and get in and hold on.
Hey, look! I'm Rumple Foreskin. Not dueling dick jokes.
No, we'll be
Okay.
fine. That's fine, we're back.
Okay.
All right.
I've never felt so much like Vanna White in my life.
And to me, that was like jazz. Then we were just soloing and riffing off each other, and that's when it's great.
Okay, here we are. Okay, we're back. We're here. A reverse Oreo. Now.
In all of those shows, there's something terrific that happens. Whether it be Jerry Lewis walking out on stage, or the reunion of what was left of the Honeymooners cast, or some really great moment, and seeing how important funny people are to the world.
We need your help indeed to help Americans in need. From sea to shining
Well, that's the HBO comedy story up to the present. We hope you enjoyed a few laughs along the way. If not, there's always intensive neuropsychiatric care. Or you just might want to think of taking your own lives. Now, as to the future, well, when you're a comedian, interviewers will often ask you, where is comedy going? They think this is an intelligent question, I guess. Where is comedy going? And I tell them, well, I'm not sure, but just this morning I saw it standing at a bus stop on Santa Monica Boulevard, so I think it might be going to the beach. Wherever it's going, HBO is going to be there. We hope you'll be there too. And as for me, I'll see you next year right here on HBO for show number 9.
and goings of comedy are kind of like the comings and goings of newspapers, you know? They'll always be there. New ones are going to start. It's just waves on a beach.
What it was a different kind of guy suddenly broke out. You know, it's like Mays had the basket catch. People went, what is he? It's only Mays supposed to catch it like this. Well, aren't you supposed to do stand up like this?
As long as there are needs, as long as there's frustration in a society, as long as there's poverty in a society, as long as there's a lack of humanity in a society, as long as all of these negative things exist in society, we comedians are going to make a lot of money.
I'm on HBO in America. I've got freedom. I got freedom coming out of my ass.